Here we go.
The eyes of the world have been on Jamaica as we confronted this ordeal, and the outpouring of solidarity has been extraordinary and deeply moving. The generosity to us, shown to us, reflects Jamaica's high standing and goodwill on the global stage. Even before Hurricane Melissa's landfall, messages of support and offers of assistance came from every region of the world. Since then, our relief efforts have been fortified by early and tangible aid from bilateral partners, regional and international organizations, non-governmental organizations, and the Jamaican diaspora.
Donovan, what's going on? What are you doing? Good morning.
Let me just stop it right here and say that I got a message there saying that the UK government, they had given some money, but most of the aid is coming in terms of supplies. That Jamaica is not getting a whole lot of cash. We're getting in-kind support. And there's a reason for that.
Lorna, good morning.
I would like to think that my letter or letters to the Privy Council members, and they have over 100 of them in the UK, would have something to do with that. Because I wrote to them and I told them that this Prime Minister was...
Are we back? Sorry about that. Say that again. Do you guys remember the letter that Mr. Will Rattigan had sent out to the King? Do you guys remember that? The Privy Council telling them about the investigation against Andrew Holness. Do you guys remember that? Well, he's saying that that letter must be affecting the Jamaican government in the way that they're sending the relief and not the money. It's a way to say, listen, and that's what he's saying, and I want to tend to agree. Who knows, maybe we're wrong, but I believe they're saying, yo, we don't actually trust you with the money, so we're gonna give you the goods. What you guys think about that? You guys think he's on point?
Was being investigated by the anti-corruption agency that he brought him to be, and that one of the accusations against him, or one of the facts that came to light, was that over a period of time he had 28 bank accounts. And I told him, be careful, watch this guy, watch him carefully. And so now what we're seeing is we're seeing a lot of aid coming in, but most of it, before you get a lot of cash, now what we're getting a lot of in-kind support. And you know why. You know why. But as I sit here, I can tell you that they're making plans. Remember the question we asked about the politicians and the aftermath of Melissa? I can tell you that they're going to take out loans. Watch the money. That's where they're going to get active with the loans. Because they can't get active because countries now are giving them supplies, giving them care packages. That really has no significant value to them. They want the hardcore cash so they can do whatever they need to do.
Why? Yeah, but why take out loans when, one, we have a cat bond, which should have materialized as a result of this disaster. Two, just like you said, there are in-kind methods of relief being provided. If we get the things to distribute, why do we need money again? Let's go ahead and distribute them. That's to say what? We need money to distribute what is being provided to us? Is that the argument?
Yeah, there is no good argument right now for bulk sums of money to go to the Jamaican government. If people can provide relief supplies, equipment, food, water, all of that, if people can do that, then there's no point in sending money to them. And by the way, Kevin, where is that thing? Where the list there? Please, pick me up here with the list there. let me show the people that
If I may, Mr. Rattigan,
yes,
the United Kingdom government has provided 7.5 million pounds in humanitarian aid to Jamaica following Hurricane Melissa, which include 2.5 million package and additional 5 million pounds. So the question that we need to ask ourselves, if they're getting all of these aid relief to Jamaica, why are they dragging their foot? And I guarantee you, Mr. Rattigan, that when all of this is over, you're gonna hear about a warehouse lock up and things spoiled in the warehouse.
Yep. Just like in a barrel.
I was also told that some of the funds, the cash, is being managed through a third party. So it's not coming straight to the government. I'm hearing that it's going to a third party. No, we have a dear listener and a friend, long time friend of mine, Doreen. I know Doreen is watching, and Doreen was saying, why is it that the UK is not providing more? And Doreen was saying that in respect to reparations. Well, Doreen, it's a different conversation in terms of, because here we're talking about aid. Reparation is, based on my understanding of it, it's not aid. It's compensation.
Right.
It's for harm done by the UK. With this now, it's for harm done as a result of
the hurricane,
a disaster.
Right.
Yeah. So the amount of money they're getting, you can't really square that argument with reparation. And the second thing is this: they're aware of our prime minister's proclivity for being involved in questionable financial arrangements. They're aware of that. They're very aware of that. And if
did he just say proclivity? No, that's a new word for me. Proclivity. You gotta look that up. I'm gonna look that up and tell you what that means. Hold up. Let me continue to play this. Proclivity.
If you don't know, Doreen, let me just tell you that it is true, because I've written to King Charles, and I've written to many members of the Privy Council, and I've told them that watch out for this gentleman, and I've sent them copies of the Integrity Commission's report where he was accused of certain things. I've sent that to them. So that's why I think they're saying we will give, but most.
So proclivity just means that he has a tendency or a habit towards certain things. It says proclivity is a tendency or inclination towards a particular thing, especially a habit or action that is often negative or harmful. It refers to a natural habitual attraction to specific activity or a predisposition for a certain way of behaving. So let's go back to what he said so we can get the context.
If you don't know, Doreen, let me just tell you that it is true, because I've written to King Charles, and I've written to many members of the Privy Council, and I've told them that watch out for this gentleman, and I've sent them copies of the Integrity Commission's report where he was accused of certain things. I've sent that to them. So that's why I think they're saying we will give, but most of our gifts will be in the form of in-kind assistance, not cash. And where we give cash, we'll have some monitoring of it. So that's where we are with that. People, how many of you remember petition? It's for harm done by the UK. With this now, it's for harm done as a result of a disaster. Yeah. So the amount of money they're getting, you can't really square that argument with reparation. And the second thing is this: they're aware of our prime minister's proclivity for being involved in questionable financial arrangements. They're aware of that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, proclivity. They're aware of his tendency or inclination to be a part of questionable dealings financially. They are aware of his action towards those things that are usually harmful to his own reputation or negative or brings negative energy to the reputation of the government of Jamaica. They're aware of his proclivity to, to those situations. Yo, that word is bad.
They're very aware of that. And if you don't know, Doreen, let me just tell you that it is true, because I've written to King Charles, and I've written to many members of the Privy Council, and I've told them that watch out for this gentleman. And I've sent them copies of the Integrity Commission's report where he was accused of certain things. I've sent that to them. So that's why I think they're saying we will give, but most of our gifts will be in the form of in-kind assistance, not cash. And where we give cash, we'll have some monitoring of it. So that's where we are with that. People, how many of you remember this? Let me remove this and put this up. How many of you remember this? You remember this? This is burial. This is what the government of Jamaica, this came out of the CG's office. Government of Jamaica, how many of you remember this list for burial? Remember this? They have here, remember we were calling attention to some of the things, like, where's it, Kevin, the one with the boat? Oh, here it is.
It's in the list. It's there.
Oh, here it is. See this one here? Well, get to Kevin's favorite color. This right here, inflatable boats, rigid, equipped with engines and equipment. And then there's another boat request over on this side. Steel hull, I believe they were asking for. Where is it, Kevin? You miss it? Hold on.
So what am I saying? Them get them boat. Them.
Oh, here it is. Metal hull rescue boats. Right, they were asking for all of these things.
Oh, they're asking.
You know what's interesting? We don't get an accounting of the things they received and how those items were used, and the ones that weren't used, were they secured someplace for another disaster. We didn't get any of that.
Wow.
If I may, Mr. Rattigan, the same way, the Cayman Islands government came through for Jamaica with some generators. And the Prime Minister either stood in the Parliament or at the news conference and said that the generators will be given to the people as a loan. And I'm saying to myself, if the Cayman Islands government is giving you generators to help with the people, why are you loaning the people generators? I don't understand this. Cayman has a company like Home Depot named A.L. Thompson, and they help to generate, they help to give generators to Jamaica. And my question is this: why is the Prime Minister loaning generators to the Jamaican people? What is going on? They get them to give to the people. Why alone?
Well, those are the questions that the reporters and the journalists need to ask when they go to those press conferences. That's what they need to ask in person. Because if you write it, they're gonna, who knows what kind of response, if any, you're gonna get. Well, you need to ask when they're standing there, so you catch them with them pants down, so to speak. But you never know what answer is gonna come out of their mouth. But let's get back to the Prime Minister here.
We are especially grateful for the outreach of His Majesty the King, United Nations Secretary General, and many other heads of government who have conveyed their solidarity with Jamaica. We extend heartfelt thanks to our CARICOM brothers and sisters and regional agencies such as SEDIMA, CARFA, and the Caribbean Development Bank for their immediate engagement. Our bilateral partners from Belgium, Canada, Colombia, El Salvador, Venezuela, the European Union, the Dominican Republic, France, Germany, Luxembourg, India, Mexico, the Netherlands, Peru, Spain, the United Kingdom, the United States. A list that is, I have not exhausted.
That's a lot.
China, Japan.
You must realize that whatever love he's talking about, the love that these countries have, they don't have it, or the respect for him. It's for the Jamaican people. It's not him. They're not talking about leadership. They're talking about the people.
Have all committed support. And Madam Speaker, what we have to do, in addition to the NGOs, which I haven't even mentioned, there's so many of them, but permit me to say the World Central Kitchen, Doctors Without Borders, Global Empowerment Mission, we call them GEM, Direct Relief, Samaritans First. and of course our own food for the poor.
Yeah, let me stop it right here and say that this is not a good picture. I was talking to some folks, including producer Joan and producer OT, and one of the things that we talked about people was, I think it would send all the production crew, I think it would be a very strong message if they move the parliament, if only for like 1 or 2 sessions, close to where the disaster center is. And instead of having them wear suits, them come in a work clothes and water boot. And they go out and actually help. Now, the Prime Minister did say right here that at some point in time, he said it could be a day, but it could be more than a day where more politicians get involved with the constituencies and all of that. But I think it would send a very, very strong message to the people that we are with you. We are united in this effort to rebuild Jamaica.
Right.
If they could just move the parliament and come dressed for work. Not like this.
Yes, talk to him.
But it's just a thought. Just a thought.
Madam Speaker, on our support Jamaica.
I endorse that. Yeah, man, I fully endorse that. That sounds like a good idea because you see, I don't think that they would be giggling and laughing in the parliament if they were in those people's reality. I don't think that they'd be giggling. I think that they'd be motivated. I think that they would get things done pretty faster. What you guys think?
Govt.jm, which was built in record time by the Amber Group.
This is the same Amber Group. This is the same. The people hear me and hear me loud and clear. This is the same Amber Group that built that website for COVID that was hacked and people's personally identifiable information.
Total failure.
Went out.
Total failure.
This is the same group that they're getting access to certain things in Jamaica that regular Jamaican business people can't get access to. This company Amber is run by an Indian person. Nothing against Indians, but he's an Indian from India, migrated to Jamaica, and all of a sudden he's supposed to be this cyber guru.
Right.
And we can't see anything that he's done that we can say, well, yes, this has really gone a long way to enable Jamaica to progress.
Exactly.
In a meaningful manner and in a fast way. But we don't even know how much this man paid for, because if you recall, he did the COVID thing also for free, and he was supposed to get some money on the back end. Some funny arrangements. Not quite sure about it. But this one, we don't even hear anything more than it was built in record time. Let's continue.
Which is the central hub for donations to Jamaica from the diaspora and the world. We have so far raised 170 million.
By the way, you see how diaspora is now playing a significant role.
Yeah, man.
In the way he speaks.
As soon as money involved.
His speech was peppered with the word diaspora. And yet, if you ask him, have you fulfilled your promise that you made to the diaspora before and during your term as Prime Minister about them having a seat in the Parliament? Have you done that?
Nope.
No. And privately, I'm telling you, I'm getting it from the inner circle. Privately, these people, they have no intention to do anything with the diaspora as far as having a role to play in the governance of Jamaica. They're like, no, when you live overseas, when you shut up on the mouth, don't come here to come tell you what to do. We are going to do what we need to do. We'll promise you stuff and we'll take stuff from you, but we're not going to fulfill them. But somebody need to ask him that question. Journalists, I hope you're listening to me.
And Jamaican dollars in contributions on that platform. And I encourage Jamaicans and our friends all over the world to give. Support Jamaica.gov.jm. All contributions go centrally to ADPEM, which is the government's official disaster management agency.
And it's not in your office.
People.
Yo, I was just about to say that, you know. That is why he put ODPEM in his office. All that money. Andrew, I'll tell you something. In a Jesus name, if you feel like, say, I'm going to get away with anything on our plan nefarious right now. Unless God is not God. You hear what I said? I mean, I say God is God. Una, hey, Let me play this, yeah.
Close attention to what he just said. Because we're gonna get to another point further down in this clip here. Hear what he said. Just stick up in right here. He said all contributions coming into the country will be going to ADPEM, right? No, the contributions coming in, they should actually go to PIOJ. At some point, I think they should be there, the Planning Institute of Jamaica, because that organization is the clearinghouse for loans, aid, and technical assistance coming into Jamaica. Everything is supposed to go through them. We have found in our research that not everything, but most of the major stuff we hear about, if you go to PIOJ, you'll see a record of those things coming in, and you'll see they'll give you some narrative as to how the money was spent. But if you notice now, we don't hear PIOJ. We hear what? We hear ADPEM. Listen keenly. Just stick up in right there now. Just stick up in right there that him say ADPEM. Everything are coming to ADPEM. Listen.
Madam Speaker, I wish to make some important announcements as to how we are going to be managing the disaster. Madam Speaker, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, is the central agency for the government's disaster response. They work with all the critical agencies across government, the private sector, international aid agencies, and multiple governments. It is, however, clear that the response to Hurricane Melissa will require significant logistics experience. It will also require significant coordination.
Hold on. Hear him say, it is going to require significant experience and significant cooperation or coordination. You mean to tell me him never know this before now?
Exactly.
Him never know, say, ADPEM will require all of these things. So who do he have working at ADPEM? And remember, he came out and said, we're prepared. We're prepared for Melissa.
Yes.
Melissa, come. We have the crew. We're ready. So now, hear what he said. ADPEM now is gonna, all the resources coming to Jamaica will come through ADPEM. ADPEM will be the clearinghouse. Second point, ADPEM now have really strong leadership. That's what he's going to say. You're going to hear him say, because you hear what he said. It is going to require, meaning that we don't have it now.
Right now, yeah.
It's going to require significant experience and significant coordination.
Insane.
So,
let's do this something else, yeah, man.
Logically, we don't have it now. So if we don't have it now, what are you going to do, Mr. Prime Minister? Listen.
The Jamaica Defense Force is currently assisting with the logistics support to both ADPEM and the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, especially given the fact that many communities are situated in difficult terrain and several have been marooned. Given the nature of the response needed for the current relief effort and the coming reconstruction effort, it is important that ADPEM and the JDF have even greater levels of collaboration. As such, effective immediately, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ADPEM, is reassigned to the Office of the Prime Minister to strengthen logistical collaboration with the Jamaica Defense Force. Madam Speaker, the Jamaica Defense Force is already under the Office of the Prime Minister. Madam Speaker, this move will ensure.
But me never know say the Jamaica Defense Force and no wonder Andrew go all about the place and talk to the police them like say him are the boss and him run it. Okay, you never see smoke without fire. Hey, Jamaica don't want a real place, you know. Hey, man, real police state, real dictatorship, you know.
That the relief effort is well coordinated and coordinated across government. The best place to achieve that, given the nature of the crisis and the speed with which we want the recovery, is for it to be centrally positioned in the Office of the Prime Minister, which is what the Office of the Prime Minister does. It coordinates all the entities.
So people, open understand now what's going on here. The support coming in to Jamaica will go through ADPEM. And ADPEM doesn't have good, this is the Prime Minister's, I'm paraphrasing what he just said. And ADPEM doesn't have strong leaders. So we're going to put ADPEM now in my portfolio so that it can coordinate with the military.
Hey, good night to Malan Brown. Listen, I didn't see you guys learn as a habit of thieving. I knew something was wrong, you know, because I was wondering why I don't see the comments going up. Starlink is it's been sold for 130,000. Boy, me glad see me buy mine when it big day about what? 60,000. They double now. Me can sell mine. Me can sell mine for more than that. We have leprechaun in the house. Bolo, a leprechaun. I don't know why the name changed. But I don't know neither no leprechaun. You have to go tell me about that one there. Lord Jesus. Lord. Let me turn out. We can't make no see me code. You remember come out and come back. Because I not see comment them. Give me a second. Yeah, something wrong. ACW, what's up? See the comment them there now? Yeah, there we go. Alright.
This wasn't known to him before. By the way, people, you see the lady behind him in what, red, whatever color that is, fuchsia. See the lady behind him? That is the minister, that is the former ambassador to the United States, Ambassador Audrey Marks, former senator, now MP, who is in charge of government efficiency. She's the one responsible for identifying where coordination should take place, collaboration should take place, and eliminate the bureaucracy. She's the one responsible for that. No, did she tell him this? She just got there, you know. She just got there. Did she, and by the way, she just got back to Jamaica because she was traveling in Estonia, saying that she's going there on a study tour of e-government. Meanwhile, e-government has been known to Jamaica for well over a decade. But she was up there. So, if she's in charge of efficiency, government efficiency, is she the one responsible for this? ODPEM is to be reassigned to the office of the Prime Minister. Is she the one responsible for this? Or the Prime Minister and others responsible for this?
Very good question.
We don't know. The interesting thing is that we haven't heard from her, and the reporters, they haven't asked her about her role in the transfer of power from we keep on calling ODPEM. Yeah, ODPEM being like a standalone to now being within the portfolio of the Prime Minister. These are very strange times.
Very strange times. And like I said, and Caroline Carey, yeah, she was in Estonia, but she said she was there for e-government and all this efficient. And guys, I this is me listening to Rattigan. I did not listen to this breakdown, you know, this analysis. I did not. This is my first time listening to it. So I'm looking at what he's saying, and I'm listening very keenly to what he's pointing out. Yeah, man, Andrew run things, Lana. Look, the UN has a program, you know. You didn't have to go to Estonia. The UN has an e-government program that you could sit down at your desk and sign on and do it. Plus, Jamaica has been doing e-government stuff for quite some time. And if you disbelieve me, just go back and look at Mr. Christie's report when he was Contractor General. Go back and look at his report. This is before this was around, I'm trying to think, 2010, somewhere around there. He mentioned it. And also the Prime Minister, I went back and I checked. He's been talking about government efficiency since 2016. True. That's true. People don't let them fool you. Don't let them fool you. That is true. So that's a good point. So how is Andrew talking about government efficiency from 2016? But yet still here comes the need for government efficiency. If there was ever a time that you should be ready and organized is after a Category 5 storm. And now it appears that they're just looking to get organized. They're just looking to put the system in place to be efficient. Come on, bro. Come on, stop it. Stop it.
This realignment establishes virtually a single point for emergency logistics and further tightens coordination with relief partners. This is about speed, Madam Speaker. The new arrangement will accelerate the distribution of relief supplies in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, better serve the most affected communities, and restore normalcy as quickly as possible. Madam Speaker, from a strategic perspective, and it is important that this be said, I've just listed the level of international response and NGO response. One of the things we don't want to happen is any fumbling. So logistics and coordination is absolutely important.
Hold on a second. Kevin, listen to this. We don't want any fumbling. Was there any fumbling with Beryl?
Yeah.
I don't recall him coming out and said there was any fumbling with Beryl. So why is it now him saying that we don't want any fumbling? And look, he must say this after the house gone through the gate. Melissa came and went. And now he's saying we don't want no fumbling. But yet he said we were prepared. Now he's saying that we're ill prepared. And so we're making changes in midstream. Kevin, give me your thoughts before I move on.
Before Kevin give his thoughts, people, Andrew Holness, his new name is 360. That's his new name. Mr. 360. Yo, this dude can change direction in a whiff. I'm talking about going west. By the time I look, this dude going northeast. What? Bro, how did we get here, bro? Mr. 360. The man is a raving. Is he that he's a raving madman? Or he's a unassuming genius? One out of the two is a fact. One out of the two is a fact. You understand? I hate when it does that. Why? Sure.
On with this.
So he didn't mention that there was any fumbling, but clearly he's telling us now
That
there was some fumbling.
Exactly.
What he hasn't told us is where the fumbling is
And who's responsible? Yeah.
who fumbled,
Ah.
and is this a move to make sure that any future fumbling can be aptly and adequately disguised and disposed of?
Well,
So,
Kevin,
we don't even know the full story. Because
Kevin,
only I get bits and pieces.
Kevin, I asked some serious question. Kevin, I don't think they're ready for that last question that we asked a while ago. I don't think the labor right them ready. You know? No, I don't think they're ready. I throw acid on the people, them brother. What a question. Let me rewind that.
Disguised and disposed of. So, make sure that any future fumbling can be aptly and adequately disguised and disposed of. So, we don't even know the full story because only I get bits and pieces. Why?
And so we're making changes in midstream. Kevin, give me your thoughts before I move on with this.
So, he didn't mention that there was any fumbling, but clearly he's telling us now that there was some fumbling. What he hasn't told us is where the fumbling is.
And who's responsible? Yeah.
Who fumbled? And is this a move to make sure that any future fumbling can be aptly and adequately disguised and disposed of? So, we don't even know the full story because only I get bits and pieces. Why, when history has taught us that division of labor leads to an optimal result, you want to consolidate everything under one head to give one direction, which if him go left, and left is a disastrous road, everything going left. That is not the purpose of government and the structure of government as we know it. Well, what we know it as is what is regarded in some areas as autocracy. Now, if that is the direction that we're going, then let's go. If we're going there, then everybody needs to know that we're going there. It can't just be you that know and taking us there by your
Communication is key.
I'm not saying that that is where we're being taken. I'm just saying that if that is the intent, then we can reach and then find out that that is where we're going. Because I don't think people sign up for that. So this whole let me put ODPM under the OPM and make sure that everything is streamlined. No, people are put in place for that. Meetings are kept to make sure that that happens. And division of labor, a part of that is to make sure that each individual agency is held accountable. You have taken that away, sir. by putting this all under the office of the Prime Minister. Which, I might add, does not fare well in the eyes of the community, the global community. That is my take, folks.
All right, thank you. Well said. Going back to the optics of it, people, when I was saying that the parliament should move closer to the devastated areas and the politicians should roll up their sleeves. Another idea that came to mind is the salaries that they're collecting. It would be nice if they say, look, we're going to donate a part of our salary, the millions and millions and millions that we're getting, we're going to donate a part of it towards this effort. That would be a strong signal, in addition to the work close, and move, at least have one session of parliament close to where the devastation is, so that people can actually, you can actually feel the suffering. Not only just hear about it, but you can see it and feel it. It's palpable. That, I think, will soften your heart. Make you go back and say, wow, we can't teach them people. We can't teach the people the money. This money are coming to do this with them. We can't do it. But when you're far removed from it and you just see a video or whatever, then it's fine. Let's continue.
And what we will create, Madam Speaker, is a plug and play system. Government can't do it all. We are the first to recognize that. We don't have enough helicopters.
Go ahead. You're muted.
Government cannot do it all. Then why is it being placed under the office of the Prime Minister?
Yo, that is the question of the day. Andrew Holness admits that government cannot do it all, but yet still he's putting all the key offices that need to respond in the office of the Prime Minister. Guys, you just can't make this up. You can't make this up, you know? Can't make this up. This is insane. Hold up. Ryan, what's up, Ryan?
Because he can do it all, I guess. Government can't do it all, but he can do it all.
And when he's referring to government, is he saying government as we know it, being both parties, or government as the ruling
party? That's a good question. It's a good question.
Brethren.
All right, let me continue.
We don't have enough social workers. We don't have enough engineers. We don't have enough doctors. But what we want is a coordinated system where all of the goodwill that comes, whilst we get that benefit, but we must get one other thing from that, and that is synergy.
All right. Somebody in the chat said, Rattigan, don't give him any ideas. No, please forgive me, bear with me. Don't beat me up on this one. But I gave this Prime Minister, I gave him an idea a while back. Kevin, my camera, oh, all right, fine. I gave him an idea a while back. And you hear him just talk about one central area where you can coordinate all the efforts. That, Mr. Prime Minister, if you remember, Wilfred Samuel Rattigan gave you that idea. I think it was back in 2018. That is called a fusion center or an intelligence center. We laid it out for you. We explained to you how this thing would work. And if you had implemented it, you wouldn't have to be worried about all of these things, you know, being centralized under your office. It wouldn't be, because essentially, a fusion center is a coordinated effort of the major agencies in a building where everybody bring them information. It's piped in, and you have your analysts, you have your investigators, you have your commanders, and they respond to the crisis, be it law enforcement, natural disasters, whatever. And if you want, Mr. Prime Minister, I can take you. You talk about what you call it, study tour, the lady behind you, full thing that's waste, government waste. Should never have to do that. I can take you to a functioning fusion center and let you see exactly what should be built in Jamaica. By the way, the one I'm taking you to, hurricane proof certified. I won't tell you where it is. Call me and I'll take you. I'll take the opposition, I'll take anybody who wants to go. I'll take you there and you'll see a functioning fusion center, intelligence center. That is what you need in Jamaica. No, you claim that you had one with the Tourism Resilience Center. Nonsense. You claim that you had one with the JCF. Nonsense. We hear that they had one with MOCA. Nonsense. And we hear all of these things. What you have bits and pieces of it. It's not synergized. And if it's not synergized, it cannot be energized. So stop fooling the Jamaican people. Or stop fooling yourself. Because what you're talking about, that idea, has been around for quite some time. Talk to the right people.
And you can only get synergy where the sum of the parts are greater than the whole, when you have coordination. And that is the one thing that this.
That what he just explained to you people is an intelligence center. You can use it for anything. Not just hurricanes. You can use it for hurricanes, you can use it for earthquakes, you know, it's multi-purpose. You can use it for law enforcement matters. You can use it for anything. You can, in fact, what you can do, you can even use it as a tool for emerging trends and threats. Because you have your analysts there, they can look across the globe and see what is happening in Asia, in the Middle East, in Africa, in Europe. They look anywhere and they can see trends that they say, look, this is something that is likely to come to Jamaica. Let's be proactive and have something on the shelf to deal with this problem. But see, folks, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Jamaica is largely a reactive society. It's not a proactive society. Something affair happen, for something happen. If they don't see it happening, them don't move. And when I said them, talking about government. Talking about government. Let's move on.
Administration has been good at management.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we have hold on, I just said that we're being joined by our brother who no call me the other day. I call him, but I'm too busy right now. I'm done movie star or moving star. Let me bring on. You know him, you love him. You know the introduction. See, man. Sir, Mr.
Don't
MP.
tell lies on me. Greetings all.
Let me move the Prime Minister. Let me move the Prime Minister off of this thing.
You want to say eyes at the company program. Wow. That's a good look. See what Isaac I say. Who that Makuk LA? Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
let me
boy.
move. This is a surprise, ladies and gentlemen, but this is our brother. This is how we work, work mysteriously. And sometimes these are the things, and just jump on. And what you say from jump on, him have something to say. I don't know what it is, but it's significant. But it's significant. I know it's significant. So, Isaac, Mr. MP, Mr. Lawyer Extraordinaire, welcome to the program again, sir.
Yes,
Talk to us
greetings
about
all.
what's going, because we haven't spoken since Melissa.
That's true. That is true.
All right, talk to us. What's going on in your neck of the woods?
I probably have a million things that I could say, but I just have to speak on what I know. I realize that I think Constitution, I think human rights. It has become a part of my existence now, so much so that because I'm always concerned about the least among us. And even in a disaster, you have to stop and ask who are the least among us.
1 second, Isaac. Hold on.
Yes.
Kevin, could you just put him center stage for me, please?
Oh, yes, man.
Yeah.
So because of that reality, I think I coined the term equity in distribution, and I had what I believe to be a decent exchange with the Prime Minister about considering equity in distribution. So as I'm talking to you now, there is honestly what I humbly believe, and I don't want nobody. People have a tendency to always be ready to be angry at me for speaking my truth. What I'm observing is that persons are being selective in the assistance that they give to this natural disaster, in just on the surface. And usually, when you have the means to do so, you find the benefit in it, so that it looks good on social media. But we're dealing with people's lives in real time, and your charity can become an inconvenience and can make the situation worse if you don't consider equity in distribution.
True.
So much so that as the member of parliament for Portland Eastern, it is my duty to advocate for Portland. I'm in no way saying that persons are to not give resources to other parishes, but to understand that when we sit back and have mature consideration in real time, those who sit at the table is to say, what can we do to ensure that all across Jamaica persons are okay? Where is the natural disaster? Where are the places that are affected in small pockets equally as places that they have considered to be the disaster areas? For instance, in Portland, and I can even go back to borrow from Dwayne Vaz, Central Westmoreland. If you build board houses with zinc tops that are fastened by zinc with no hurricane straps, little breeze blow, you might lose your entire existence and all that you have. So you have to, and I'm using the term from the doctrine of causation in criminal law, that but for the Hurricane Melissa, persons wouldn't be saying that they're homeless now, because they would have had a little roof over their head and they was happy with it, even if it wasn't the best structure. And then the doctrine of causation, the principles, the eggshell rule is we are to take the victims of Melissa as we find them. So because I don't live in a big mansion in Upper St. Andrew where the lights didn't get cut off, it doesn't minimize my experience in Portland, where I live in the valley in Fellowship Division, or I live in Mansion Hill in the Reach area, the Mansion Hill Division in Reach, or on the seafront, where I lost everything, including crop. 6,000 hectares of banana and planting destroyed. Portland is a significant contributor to food security in Jamaica. And so I'm not going to say I'm disappointed. I mean, I'm the member of parliament in Portland Eastern. Of course, the media is going to say nothing has happened to Portland. And before the hurricane, persons were saying Portland is so ungrateful, they hope everybody dies in Portland. And now they're saying because the Category 5 didn't come to Portland, nothing is wrong with Portland. But I'm the person who is responsible to ensure that everybody is okay. When I said to the Prime Minister, why do people call me? Yeah, when I said to the Prime Minister, are you hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I being heard?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, I can hear you.
No, I'm not being heard.
We're hearing you.
Am I being heard now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So when I said to the Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, it would take me $195 million to feed the 39,000 people on the voters list. And because I'm not politically inclined in a natural disaster, my intention is to ensure that everybody is okay. The response was that I'm not running an independent state, and I must learn that we cannot help everybody. So with the $1.5 million, which is the equivalent of 300 packages at $5,000 per package, is the extent of what I can do. So when labor rights say I am not giving them food, or PNP says I'm giving labor rights food with the little that I have and how horrible I am, I want them to understand that the directive from the government is that I am never to ever try to make sure everybody is okay, and I should choose wisely who it is that I assist, and that's where I am. Thank you. That's the first point. There are no questions for me, but I continue to thank the diaspora for assisting my GoFundMe and allowing me to make some contribution in this disaster. I'm not here.
Yeah. No. Can you hear? Uh-oh. Did we lose him? Yeah. So we can't find anything there. Oh, he's back. Hold on.
Yeah, I wasn't hearing. Sorry about that. So yeah.
No worries. No, what happened is that last week we put up your GoFundMe and we were advising people to actually go and support it. I
really think they did. It was moving significantly.
But I'm glad you're here, because we're looking for it right now to put it up so that you can explain. Because I see where somebody in the chat saying that they have they want to participate, and they're asking for the information.
I don't know if Kevin still has it, but it's on my.
Yeah, he has it. No, he has it.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going, Kevin. No, that's not it. That's
okay. But there have been people have. I can't thank everybody name.
All right.
But I have been getting the assistance, and I can tell you at this point I can speak for small business owners, especially. I had participated significantly in terms of contributing chickens to young budding farmers who would be raising chickens, and then boom, you kill your chickens, you have it on the freezer, there is no light in Portland. I'm seeing on the internet where they're saying I am selectively giving light to persons. Just the nonsense. But I don't work at JPS. JPS is doing their best. The energy minister is Daryl Vaz. He's an MP for the West. So my talk little when it comes to how light turn on in anywhere in Jamaica. And again, the narrative is nothing is wrong with Portland. So I don't know why they're complaining about light. Nothing is wrong with the houses. Nothing is wrong with the business. Portland is perfect. So nobody should be complaining to the MP because nothing is needed in Portland. That's the narrative. I'm actually saddened by it because I know what the reality on the ground is. And in my office, I have the basics. People are still sending the Pampers and the pads and the tampons and the toiletries. toilet paper, everything. I mean, I'm just grateful. However it comes, we take it. Recently, I'm in receipt of one Starlink privately sent to me, and trying to just restore even connectivity, because there are people who have not heard from their families since the storm, because even data, the Digicel and the Flow has been disappointing in the Portland area.
I'm going to put up the GoFundMe site in a few moments, but let me ask you this. I watched your the parliamentary proceedings, and I listened to the question you asked the Prime Minister, not just you, but the entire opposition side, and I listened to what he said. No, one of the things he said, he didn't. He said it in, I think in his opening remarks. He said that the half of Jamaica was not severely impacted by Melissa, must now double up their production. And he was talking about food production as well. Double up. Have you, how did he give us a sense of how is this going to be done?
Well, I will say this, and I'm going to speak for myself. Chris Brown, that's Southeast St. Mary, and Rose Shaw in Southeast St. Thomas. I don't want to be ambitious to include James Robertson and Daryl Vaz, but that realistically, that's what the belt is in terms of the eastern side of the island. I am of the belief that we are the surrogate breadbasket, because St. Elizabeth realistically is not going to be in a position to operate as the breadbasket at this time. A shift in crop production and funding, including the technology. I've spoken about this, and Portland Eastern has Case University, which is the agricultural hub in terms of the research aspect of it. So I want people to understand that Portland is situated, East Portland and the other parishes that I named is situated to do the strategic crop production and ensuring that food security is a realistic approach to what is a natural disaster. There's many things to come, the health aspect of it is going to spiral. We are going to realize that the resources is just not going to be enough. When persons aren't in production, a lot of people don't understand or appreciate that able-bodied people only live meal to meal and sometimes day to day. So when the economy gets a hit like this and you can't go out and get a little work, you're going to be hungry. You're going to be, it's going to become aggression. And so I would see why he would want people to move up and down and trying to work, because all that is happening now is people are saying, please feed me because there is nothing to do. I'm in Portland and there's no light in the town in real time, as in not even the ATM machines, apart from the banks who have Delco, the generators, 1988 Delco. Anyway, Gilbert Delco. And so even to have cash flow in the town is non-existent. And I'm going to tell you this, persons are going to resort to crime, and that sometimes include violence if we don't have the economy booming and the idle hands that the devil like to find work for will become a reality. So my primary thing is to ensure that persons have food to eat, and so the constant care packages and sending out the food is, I think, constrained, and I'm obligated to do. But Portland can be the surrogate breadbasket if the Prime Minister and the government, Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Ford Green, if they're so minded and not think politically, because I can tell you this, I find it distasteful for any politician to be trying to score points if they don't even accept the reality that we are in. I'll extend it further, that I find it distasteful, anybody, whether it be social media, artist, company, to be trying to score points in terms of the disaster, including people must appreciate that many persons are collecting donations on behalf of victims, and the victims are not seeing it. So when you see planes and ships and all of these things coming in and they say we have 5 million, believe me, they probably collected 50. And so we just want the things to get to the people, and certainly from where I sit, as long as it's getting to the people, I am happy.
Okay, let me put up the GoFundMe and then you can talk to us about that. There it is. Kevin, big that up for me, please.
One Isaac Buchanan, I mean.
All right, how can people? Because somebody asked me last week, and I was telling them that they should just go and go to the GoFundMe site and put in like your name or something like that, and that should take them to where they need to go to make the donation. Talk to us now.
Right. So the target is 100K. You can see we're 14% of it a week later.
What?
the donations to ensure that we can provide building material. I can tell you this, the Prime Minister has given Portland Eastern, or pledged to Portland Eastern, $3 million to rebuild all the damaged structures across Portland.
And that's
But
3
then it
million
says
Jamaican
$3
dollars?
million Jamaican dollars.
Okay.
That amounts to, and I've taken advice and been prepped on it, it amounts to helping 50 people, 40 of which will get $50,000 and 10 which will get $100,000. Full stop. So I've been charged to go out, use canvassers, use my personal resources to decide who are the persons that will get that allocation. And they have also decided that it must include geomapping. That is, you tag the structure so that you will see it electronically that this person received money, so that the donors or whoever will be able to say, this is where my money was spent. The reality of it is, if you go to NHD to get a loan, you probably need $9 million so you can live in a structure that is, I don't know, you do the math. I still maintain the trailer container structures is not a house solution, respectfully, but who am I but to take my position on that? And so we need to ensure that persons who are rebuilding at a minimum have hurricane straps to whatever roof that they're attaching to the structure. We need to move away from using lard and wood, and not even lumber, but wood, ply, and concrete drywall to make houses, because we are now in the reality that climate change is real. And so the building efforts include ensuring that people are fed and ensuring that people have the basics so that they can rebuild, because it is clear government is not going to be able to do it. And certainly for Portland Eastern, it's not included in the disaster. It is not a part of the mapping. The Prime Minister did promise that he would look into the equity in distribution and send a team to personally assess Portland. I hold him to his word. But as it is right now, whilst I was a candidate and now the Member of Parliament, I've always known that government was never going to be the answer to solving a lot of the problems that's happening. And I can't sit idly and do nothing. Therefore, the GoFundMe is there, and you can donate and you can send your instructions as to what you want the funds to be allocated for. And I'm just asking for the support because I'm a young man with great ideas in terms of what it looks like to fix a problem.
Let's say, like somebody like me that is challenged, as far as technology is concerned. If you wanted to send money to this GoFundMe, just walk me through the steps, because there are people in the chat.
Right. So I might have to, what I have to be doing every time I try to walk somebody through it, I end up sending them the Zelle, because apparently it's a lot easier. But for the GoFundMe, you click on the GoFundMe, it says donate. When you click the donate, it invites you to use your debit or your credit card to pay. You donate the amount that you want and you click it, and the bank will send you the email. It will send you the email that the money is withdrawn from your bank.
All right. How do they get to the GoFundMe then?
They click the link, and that you see this, the very link that Kevin used. Yes.
No, but what I'm saying is that somebody at home, them have no link, them have nothing, and them say,
the thing about it is, you would go on the GoFundMe and you would try to search for Isaac Buchanan building fund.
Okay. So folks, you hear that?
It was up there. And
right.
I have to look for the one that says it. But just look for the picture with me on the tractor, and that should tell you, because one of the things that's dangerous with the link is, support Isaac Buchanan's rebuilding efforts. Ensure it's the one with the picture on the tractor, because I have heard that there was one from last year that's still subsisting, as well as it directs you to the Bob Marley Foundation, it directs you to many other foundations. So you just have to make sure that it's that one, based on what persons have told me.
Before we turn it over, because I'm not sure if you're aware, Isaac, we have a university now on Saturday.
I know, and this class done, so the two kick me out. I understand.
No.
Lecturers will arrive. You must take my link to and put it up and make me talk.
No. Indeed, I will. But you normally listen to me, don't send things to me anymore, Mr. Buchanan.
Hey, Jeffrey, Jeffrey and Hampton now. How comes you don't send the man anything, Isaac? How it go? This is interesting.
Oh, the life of a MP / lawyer / YouTuber, advocate, so many things.
Here's a question I was planning to ask.
Sure.
When I said to you that it's a university, there are at least 2 resilience or catastrophic bonds, whatever you want to call it. One is from the Caribbean and one is through the World Bank. The one through the World Bank is 150 million, and I believe the one through the Caribbean is about $70 million. Have you heard about the payment? Do you know if Jamaica has received those payments yet? And do you have any idea as to how the payments will be disbursed once they?
I don't know how it will be distributed, but certainly the one in relation, $70.8 million have been paid out to Jamaica from the catastrophe bond. There's another amount that has been paid out. Listen, it's so much of them. There's flood damage money that would have come in a large sum. I don't want to misquote myself because you have some stalkers that like to put your stuff on internet to say we did say. And you see, because them is some mumalashi, them know themselves, you know. So I'm being mindful not to misquote, but these are things that these are a part of the insurance. Remember last year we were saying that Nigel wasn't so wise in terms of paying insurance on such a the amount of money he was paying out to access whatever returns and the requirements. That's a different conversation. Save except to say that yes, they have been paid the 70.8 already, and many other they have access monies already from the Caribbean Fund as well as the flood. And we could have conversations about clauses that should have been negotiated by the very erudite and brilliant Minister of Finance, including ensuring that relief clauses were in place to suspend the budget in such a way that would benefit or could have paid out at a minimum $1.5 billion US if it was properly drafted and considered. But I am not the one to critique because, you know, I'm not the Minister of Finance. I don't go around saying you can buy a Pro Box. So I'm going to leave that one alone.
Right. Yeah. You're right. The conversation we had actually, and we're going to play the clip on Wednesday. I don't think I think we have it prepared, but we probably don't have the time to play it today. Is the one where Richard James, a mathematician, and then you were on the program as well, when he said about $10.5 million based on the calculation, we should have gotten twice, if not three times, the amount of insurance that we paid for.
Exactly.
Right.
But I'm just never going to be in the business of doing the math because, like I said, social media for social media, everything is surface, and I think that life is the lived human experience, and I'm glad that Parliament is also a forum of record, because the Prime Minister, he had boasts about using the infrared technology to say which areas are the disaster areas, and I was very happy to have the conversation with him to say that the lived human experience can never be replaced by technology. It just can't. Human suffering cannot be substituted, and nor can social media say to people, this is what a disaster is and this is where the catastrophe is. This is bad, but when the bombing in Gaza take place, that isn't bad. Or when the United States blow up a boat in the middle of Caribbean waters, that's not a disaster. So however the media tells you, just like the media come here and says Portland is okay, even after interviewing me, and I said, no, we're not okay. Intelligence is a fickle thing in the Jamaican space. Believe me when I tell you that. And we substitute sensationalism and big headlines for the reality. The truth is, we little but we tolerate. We are a resilient people. And the last thing I'm going to say is we're an island. If anything that happens one place affects us everywhere. You don't believe me? Murder was taking place in Kingston. The Prime Minister for 2-3 years called state of emergency and lockdown everywhere. And people's lives were hell. So you see, just those things can tell you the reality. There's a push to open schools. I support it 100% because education is the great divider. But at the same time, there are going to be children left behind again. Last year, I was saying to people, send me the tablets. You remember, now we're here in Portland and the people them have tablets, but they don't have light. And technology will continue to fail us. And there are kids who don't have tablets and don't have light. And while I was doing it, the government was not even saying, little boy, go and go sit down. You put out 500, I'm going to put out 50,000. They didn't do it. And so to see the Minister of Education now steps to a podium and says school have to open back and no contingency plan in place to say schools open and here we're going to supply generators and we're going to supply the technology so the ministry can remotely teach the curriculum through whether it be through PBC, whether it be through a YouTube channel. There's nothing in place with a disaster such as this. So I heard a voicemail with a 15-year-old saying to our older brother that school now go open for now, me have to go look at work, otherwise life will go be bad for me and I might not be able to pass my subjects now. That was the worry of the average child who is in the situation where they know that things won't get to normal as fast as how this country has pretended that we're back to normal. So that's, I hope I
How is it?
answered the
How is it?
question.
How is the rural school bus program in your neck of the woods?
Only hear the one say. You act as if things are back to normal when in fact it's not. Yo, we just like to pretend, bro.
And the reason I ask you that is because there's a report that just came out. Actually, the Minister Vaz was at a press conference and he said that children are getting sick on the buses. They're bleeding.
What?
They're bleeding. They're fainting. All kinds of
What?
issues with the buses. So I'm just given the weather conditions now. I'm just curious. Have you seen the buses on the road or no?
Listen to me. I don't talk about the Magic School Bus. I don't have no conversations about it. In fact, I won't be on any record when the reality hits Jamaica. I have no comment. This is the brainchild and mastermind idea of the royal family of Jamaica, the Vazes. It's their project. Any reporting and any criticizing must come from that household. The success or failure of it must lie with the Vaz. I'm not even going to put it at the hands of the Prime Minister and JUTC and anybody else. I put it as his feet only. And I would invite all of Jamaica and the entire world. Give him all the room, and give him more room than Jesus. Let them have this discussion 2,000 years from now. Him either going to be as big as Bob Marley or as horrible as Hitler. Whichever one it is, I don't have no part in it.
All right, don't say anything more. But as if Freedom was asking, the children sick? Yes, the children are sick. They're sick of riding the bus and they're sick of riding on the bus.
Why included me in this conversation?
No. Still that, Isaac. No. I was just responding to the chat. Freedom raised it, so I was just telling her that Minister Vaz himself. I will put that up, Kevin. You have that, Kevin. You have that.
Broke, you know.
Kevin.
It's among with our videos.
It's a clip where he himself is quoted as saying that children are getting sick on the buses and that they have to get medical services involved and the police also involved. They said they're bleeding through the nostrils and they're fainting. I'm coming. Go find it and show you. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
Mr. Buchanan, Member Buchanan. I can't say Mr. Buchanan. Member Buchanan. He's a member of Parliament now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were in Parliament when the Prime Minister says that they have to loan generators to people who need generators. Did you hear that part?
He had a mixture of loan and give. So I'm hoping not to misquote him, but this member is always present and ready to ask the questions.
But my question to you now, member Buchanan, is this: if countries has given Jamaica's government generator in a time of need, I don't think they should be loaning it to people who really need the generators.
I don't recall him saying anything about lending generators.
Yes, he said it either at a press conference or at Parliament.
He didn't say it in Parliament. I know he's saying that we need to provide, because I'm here saying that one of the reasons I have a GoFundMe is to ensure that I can purchase generators, or in the alternative, who don't want to send me the money, send me the generators so I can give them out to the poultry farmers, to the young ladies with the ice cream shops, and just to the things that have perishable items. We want to ensure that those businesses can return to normal as fast as possible. I would say that if he did say he would lend generators to people, that's so it lacks empathy. It lacks any. Boy, I don't even want to begin to criticize what that is. I don't recall him saying that. I know that we need to ensure that small business owners have access to generators to run their businesses between the hours of 9 to 5 or on an 8-hour cycle, so that the small economy can continue to go forward. What I do find surprising is that we have this thing called, if I must call it doubling, is that you give an allocation to purchase food, but the government get massive donations and is responsible for distributing the food. So you can't be collecting money to purchase food and be responsible for the free food that's being distributed. It is so incestuous that it reeks with corruption. And this is one of the things that he's going to always be criticized, but he knows best, because when you see ODPEM being subsumed into the office of the Prime Minister, and you see the changes, and you see all of these things come up. It is not. I am not saying. I'm not alleging anything untoward, but as a trained attorney that have been in spaces of opulence, I will simply say that justice must appear to be done. It's the appearance of bias and the appearance of the incestual nature of nepotism and corruption that the Prime Minister should do his best to stay far away from. But I also understand his dilemma that if he leaves it outside of his office and things go bad, them are going to say him did neglect it. So he has to be watching the people, because it's not everybody in the space has clean hands. If that is a criticism, or the alternative, because it's also a slap in the face of Odpem, who took us through many disasters, to just remove people who have the experience for these new faces.
Member Buchanan,
Mhm.
my question to you is this: if it happens that the Prime Minister gets all these these gifts from overseas,
Mhm.
why is it that it's taking them so long to distribute? I see wherein they said that the Ministry of Labor has given out 30,000 care packages, and the Chinese coming to give out 100,000.
Mhm.
Have you gotten in your area?
I beg some and I get some. So maybe make you know that now. They never. I see them round here and them giving it out and they never give me none. Me go beg some. Me beg the minister. That's what this MP is equipped to do. Beg. As a country of beggars, I went and begged and I got some. And I get Nutribun too. And let me tell you something about distribution and why we're gonna always have a problem when you hear members of parliament. They love to come before Mike and talk about wait and be patient. These things have expiration dates on them, especially bread and stuff like that. It's not that they're gonna be stale tomorrow, but you want to consume them while they're fresh. And if you have the intention for everybody to get them, distribution is a nightmare. I went on the road today and I gave out, I can't count the amount of Nutribuns and care packages that I was able to give out today, but it done fast. But also, if you're targeting children to ensure that they get the Nutribuns in spaces where school isn't reopened, it's a lot of them. And depending on the geographical areas and the logistics, it may become a nightmare, especially when you have to have accountability. So the government needs help in assigning persons to be able to they have to delegate, and they have to trust that people will get to the people who need it most. One of the biggest nightmares that's happening in Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth is that all of these people who have all the beautiful intentions are going to the hot areas into the town. Hot meaning the area likely where they get the most mileage. So they go to landing ground zero, and all of them come out and they drop the water, and the same people take up the water.
All right. Hold on a second, Isaac. We have a phone call. Mystic want to ask a couple of questions, but let me just put this to show people.
So do that.
Hold on a second. Here we go. Kevin, if you can make it. All right. Hold on a second. Let me see something.
Just remove that. Remove that ad.
All right. Here it is, folks. It's like
The X to the left.
hold on. All
Perfect.
right. Now you can see it says the title. It says target hit, but Vaz admits hiccups in rural school bus rollout despite strong ridership numbers. Now look at this, folks. Look at the second paragraph that begins. At the same time, he admitted that the first phase has not been without challenges, including reports of students falling ill on buses, minor accidents, and logistical adjustments to routes and schedule. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Hold on a second. Let me just pull this down right here. Where the kids, okay, here it is right here. He said, he noted that some of the challenges reported include instances of disorderly behavior on the buses, as well as students falling ill during transit. And then he goes on to say right here, I want to say it's not limited to the spats between the students. We have had medical incidents on the buses where students have passed out. Students have started to have bleeding through their nose. Different things that have come up. And luckily, we have been able to coordinate with the driver and the JUTC and get the police or the medical assistance that's required. There you have it. There you have it. All right. Mystic, go ahead. You're on the line. Hold on a second. All right, go ahead. Isaac can hear you. Go ahead.
Brother Isaac, how are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great.
All right. My question to you, Brother Isa. Do you know if the government established, right, a system of checks and balance in terms of recording all donations and insurance that the country receives?
Well, Odd Pen is responsible for it. In fact, the Prime Minister said that Odd Pen, which is not.
Something wrong with your voice? Something. I saw.
The same thing reaching him that reached CG earlier.
Yeah, your voice is croaking.
The audio is breaking up.
Me, I thought voice is breaking.
No, you're fine. No, you're fine. No, you're fine. Yeah.
Right, and I'm saying the Prime Minister has said that ODPEM is responsible for collecting all donations. So much so that if you have 10 air freights and pallets and stuff, if you say ODPEM is to collect it for ISAT, they'll collect it, look at it, log it, and then I get it. So they have a system in place. What I can tell you is that in the past, they collect building material and the zinc rust. They collect food and the food have to dash away. This thing about hoarding and collecting and saving for, I don't know. This is not the story of Joseph and the famine, 7 years famine. But if the things were meant to go to the people, it ought to be done in real time. Like I said, Ratty had asked me if I got any allocation. I did speak to the Minister of Labor and Social Security, the Honorable Pernell Charles Jr. My allocation was given to me, and I had to go and pick it up. You can imagine how long I would have had to wait if there was logistics for it to come to Portland, which is not a priority zone. So MPs just have to work with the government, and the government have to work with the MPs, and the people have to work with everybody and take politics out of it. Otherwise, the people are going to be in a lot of problems. The biggest problem I'm going to always have to criticize from my human rights hat is the people is at the center of the disaster, and getting to them is first priority, even over this pedantic nature to log and to do this. So if a system is in place, there must be forms on a computer or forms somewhere. Like in my office, it's easy for me to log whether I have water, whether I have Nutribun, whether I have a care package, who gets it, what they get, and when it is likely to run out. That is something that you have to be trained to do that, and I think that's why education is important, and why members of parliament need to be equipped with education to ensure that basic common sense can get them to do things that's not in a book. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, go ahead, Mystic, with the second question.
Oh, okay, another question. Is there a joint committee that where the People's National Party members of parliament, right, be a part of that committee that has to deal with the oversight of, the distribution of aid done on an equity basis, and to ensure also about the health and safety factors, right, as it relates to serious health risks that can come of this, to the fact that as it relates to people being trapped and all of that. So is there a joint committee, right?
No, Mr. Mystic. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air right now. At Jamaica, me live here. You see over here, so joint select committee is run by the Prime Minister's wife and these kind of things, and Speaker House kind of thing, and we don't have that right now for the hurricane thing. May I go add further for saying, them probably are going to consider that. Equitable distribution is a term coined by me that was introduced to the Prime Minister just this Tuesday. He says he's going to consider it, and so I'm hoping he's considering it and it will come to the table. Either way, whether it's considered or not, it is a reality. Either you want everybody to be okay, or you're going to choose whether it be your party or which parish you have an interest in. But all parishes are affected. There are communities marooned. There are persons in the diaspora that still haven't heard from their families, and the days are counting down. If this was a case where somebody was missing or somebody was murdered, 48 hours is the maximum time before you start to realize that you ain't gonna solve this crime no more. So if you treat it, as I said earlier, that you take your victims as you find them anywhere they are and in whatever conditions they're in, whether old, young, healthy, unhealthy, sick, disease, disabilities, strength, education, poverty, rich, wherever it is, you have to take them and meet them at their level. That's what equitable distribution is, and that's why in America they have affirmative action. That's why they have welfare. That's why they have things to consider that we are not considering, because the entire country is on welfare and ready to grab. Things as simple as Starlink. Big Starlink, when we are telling about long time before we turned MP. We are a Starlink man. Elon Musk give 600 Starlink and not one Starlink was sent to Portland. Not even for the health center yet. Not even for community spaces so that you can use your phone to call 9119 or to get in contact if there is an emergency. There are communities that cannot communicate. I have to drive there with the private Starlink that I have. That's attached to my private account to try to give assistance. And to be honest with you, I don't have an S on my chest and I'm an opposition member of parliament. There's a million things I could have done if my party was in government.
Well, you don't have an S on your chest, but you may have a B on your belly. So
I be.
I said, Mr. You have any more questions before my
my final question to Isaac, something that I would want him to think about deeply prior to answer. Now, as it relates to the situation with the economy, and knowing that roughly we are talking about we had lost over 60% of our GDP, and so then the economy at this time is more than feeble. I will use that word to define it. However, we have not heard anything in terms of the Prime Minister looking on the current impact and to see how he can try to inject, some benefits back in the economy. So the question that I'm asking, as it relates to the current salary package that the Prime Minister had approved, and his size of his cabinet, do you think, Isaac, that it would serve the country good interest for the government to look at it and have a cutback to at least inject some energy in the economy?
All right.
Your answer.
All right, now hang up now, Mystic. So listen up for the answer.
Yeah, but you're gonna hang up, so Mystic now again to laugh. But I'm gonna say this.
No, if you want me to stay, all right, Mystic, stay upon it. Because
because I want to hear if he's gonna laugh. Because the irony, Mystic, is that I know the MP them have to work. They're out there, and I just want to make this clear because I'm never one to just play politics or take jobs. None of us are sleeping. And if you are sleeping and if you're not doing anything, then you should be fired. Because I can't think of any member of parliament on either side who's sitting down doing nothing. That is the reality that we're faced with. So if it's any time those ministers are working 24/7, and if any time in Jamaica history that they're ever gonna deserve those salaries that they're getting is now. I'm just putting that out there. But in terms, I think we missed the mark by talking about that overhyped and over pumped up executive. But me allow them because I have to beg them, so don't try to set me up. What I will say to you though is we should be considering how the insurance that we are collecting is going to be spent. Huh?
Go ahead. Make the comment, Mystic. He's laughing. Mystic is laughing like he predicted.
I know you would.
Isaac, that's why I said, think carefully before you answer. But I love the answer. It's okay.
Yes. All right.
All
yeah,
right.
but I'm just going to go on also to say, Mystic, that we are to consider the accountability meter that we should be having up now, including whether it be private persons, whether it be entertainers, whether it be everybody that says we are collecting funds and we are giving it. Who are you giving it to? How much you collected? Did the people receive it? When it comes to insurance and cat ban and catastrophe ban and flood insurance, breeze insurance, meter insurance, economy reprieve, add up the total amount, because if you're saying 60% of the GDP is gone, how much billions of US did we get, and how much of the GDP does that supplement? So we need to know where we really are, so we can have the conversation that are we going to grow? No, but why are we going to suspend the budget and make emergency allocations that's realistic? Because $10 million is an insult. Because NHT is giving one individual 9 million, sometimes 13 combined to build a house. What are you doing with 10? And it's who you look upon and try to get $3 million. Mm-hmm. We can beg that. We have a GoFundMe right now and I beg it. So I try to show people the magnitude of that is that a government is looking at an MP and say, here's $3 million for a constituency that on the voters list has 39,000 people. What $3 million can do? Well, anyway, I digress.
Well, that's okay. Jeffrey?
No, I wanted to make a joke to Isaac to find out if there's any way he can find that never can deploy some drunk or don't in Westmoreland.
The drunk of them on this live because Wildfire 112 I say a money me want and now get. Wildfire, my grandfather's James Samuel Porteous, may his son rest in peace. Don't mix me you tegorate you. I want you to connect GPS to your mother's umbilical cord and don't call me name.
All
Full
right.
stop. Period.
So
Moving on.
where waiting them there? Where monitors them there? Where monitors
No
them
man,
there?
you don't need no monitor. My mouth don't fix pan spring. If you want it today, I will give it to you. Don't bright yourself. Don't come on this show and bright yourself.
All right. No, I call the monitors them because if you see, we just a seat now and some
Yeah.
some action
And I will
supposed to be
add
taken.
to my father is Manly Augustus Buchanan, aka Big Youth. I don't get where I come from. Don't bright yourself.
All right. Here's something now, Isaac.
Yeah.
When do you foresee getting? Because now we're talking about assistance, and it looks like. All right, let me back up and say when I heard the Prime Minister talking when he was trying to answer your question, what I was thinking about. Somebody mentioned this to me one time about in terms of justice. They said justice doesn't have to be everybody starting at the starting line because some people have been disadvantaged. If it's a 100 meters race, then it will be you have to make it a handicap race because some people they never get the training and all that, so they can't start at the starting line. They have to start at the 50 meter line to go down.
Exactly.
So having said that, because it sounds like it's a one size fits all approach that they might use, and if they use that, then you're going to have a problem.
No, it's not a one size fits all approach because they give $10 million to Westmoreland. And then they have my constituency say, where are you going to do with the $10 million? But they only gave my constituency $3 million because they says nothing is wrong with it. So you cannot, it's not one size fits all, but it's also a situation where the wrong narrative is being put out. Mature consideration is not being had to the lived human experience. Remember, the MPs are not the ones suffering, It is the human beings in this country that are in conditions where death is knocking at their door.
True.
Let me just add this to say that we were planning on doing a piece using Minister Tufton's the IC's investigation of Market Me, Minister Tufton, Miss McDonough, and the rest of the crew to illustrate how laws are made in Jamaica, how they become effective in Jamaica, and also we were going to be looking at several laws to show that just because the Governor General has assented to a law, it doesn't mean that law is in effect because it can only take effect when the minister says it's going to take effect 60 days, 100 days, whatever from now. I don't know if we'll get to that, but the reason why I wanted to use that case to illustrate the points is because it has to do with procurement. And what's going to center, and we don't know if we're going to have an accountability for those funds. Keep in mind, we still haven't received proper accounting for all the money spent during COVID, not to mention burial. And now here we are with a disaster that's even bigger than those two combined. And money, your money that you pay in taxes are money that's coming into the country for you, but going through the government will be spent. And what I don't want is I don't want us 5 years from now to look back and say, where did this money go? Where did that money go? As we're doing now with COVID money and burial money and the other monies, right? I want us now to be right at the starting line with them and said, okay, we are going to petition PIOJ, Ministry of Finance, at PEM, whoever we need to, so that we can now start from the beginning to figure out where is this money coming from, where is this money going, who, when, where, why, what, how.
I'm in full support of that.
That's what we're trying to do with that thing. And I have it right.
Hey, Isaac, that even me to hear nothing more. Isaac, I listen keen. I say, yep, I'm in full support of that, man. Myself as well.
Here, I don't know if we'll get it. Plus, we also want to get to the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, because I believe if that entity was more than a movement, if it was a registered 501c3, we could have been raising funds throughout the year. And so when we have something like this, we wouldn't have to struggle, and then you have 50 million people trying to raise funds from different sources, and then you have confusion and all that. Because here's one of the things that I'm concerned about, Isaac. I'm concerned that Black River, Falmouth, Santa Cruz, the areas hardest hit, they're going to get resources. But I'm concerned about a place like Myersville, Northampton, places that you don't even hear about, small communities that they don't register in the PR world. And so they won't get anything. We are trying to get to those communities, and at 6 o'clock, in about 13 minutes. And I want you to stand if you have the time, because we're starting an initiative today, the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation, with a shipping company here. We're trying to put together a 40-foot container and send it down to Jamaica. And we want to focus on small communities. the communities that will be largely forgotten. I'm sure you have some of them in your constituency. You know, I want to stick around, and he's coming on. I just spoke to him. He'll be on in about 12 minutes or so. But folks, that's why some people are saying, well, why is it that you want to talk about Tufton? Well, ask yourself this: why is it that we shouldn't want to talk about Tufton, Minister Tufton? Why is it that we're not talking about the drill? You see, because we're not programmed to see things through their logical end. Because what we do is we follow the headlines, and a story come up, and then it's replaced by another story. It's replaced by another story. And after 3 stories, you forget that there was a drill. You forget that we overspent on a drill. You forget that we overspent on buses.
There's a pattern, ladies and gentlemen. And the people need to recognize the pattern. And the pattern is not a positive one. You understand? As a matter of fact, it is poisoning the very fabric of our democracy. But I got on times too, isn't me? Oh man, as soon as I press to something.
School buses, you forget that 1.4 billion was earmarked for buses and for 110 buses, and so far we've gotten far less than 110 buses, and nobody's asking where the money gone then. If we don't have the buses, then show us the money. Nobody's asking. And that's why we can't leave these stories out there, because for every dollar that is subject to fraud, waste, abuse, corruption, is a dollar that is not spent on the Jamaican people. It's a dollar that not buying resources so children can go to school and get an education and be properly fed. These are the things that we're talking about. We don't want to forget these things. We do not want to forget them. So we're going to talk about that. But I think we might as well continue the conversation, because I don't want to jump into that conversation, because he's gonna come on in 10 minutes and I don't want somebody to keep on it. Yeah, and that's why we keep talking about these issues, because we want your mind to be trained not to lose sight of the real issues, not to go after the shiny object or the latest headline, but to remember these things and say, well, wait a minute, what happened to all the money? How come nobody's talking about the 750 million that Jamaica received in loans for COVID from IDB, World Bank, and wherever? How come nobody's talking about that? Right. And you know what, Kevin? Let me put this up before I come on. Let me put up this, and this illustrates the point better than anything else. This one here. Take a look at this, people.
With all due respect to the member from West Central, this is really the minister, honorable minister. This is really not what Jamaica wanted to hear from him today. With a spate, well, if we are in tune to social media, member, we would know that there are questions hovering around about an Integrity Commission report. There are questions as to how we are really dealing with mental health in Jamaica, and the renaming and rebranding of a hospital that has leaking wards, overcrowded patients, and no capital budget for about 5 years coming from the Ministry of Health, with previous announcements about destigmatization going back as far as from 2019 by the Honorable Minister, where residents are not growing their food at the Bellevue Hospital because of therapy, but because of sustenance, because the food budget has been cut.
All right. So if I talk about that, let me show you now something else. All right. See how we're doing here now, how boy it is. See me now.
Minister, my simple question to you is in relation to dengue. Is there any communication with local government in light of the fact that garbage collection has been next to none? Certainly is there any communication with local government, the local government minister and the ministry in relation to garbage collection in light of the fact that you're highlighting dengue as a problem now, and the prevention aspect of it being garbage is a breeding ground for the mosquito? So is there communication, and will you use your power in the ministry to ensure that garbage collection takes place, especially in Portland Easter? Thank you.
Very interesting, man. Somebody might muted.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The I'll take the second question first. The Minister of Local Government and myself sit in a particular place every Monday, and there is no decision or announcement coming from me that doesn't involve his participation. So the answer to your question is, he and I communicate and we work together as we do as a government. And I know he's very approachable. So if you want to approach him, I'm sure he won't rebuff you if you have a concern as a representative of the people of East Portland. To the member who
Listen to him answer the member Dawes' question concerning the market, me, and all the other issues. Listen to this.
Raise the other issues. I'm not sure if it was a question or a statement.
Statement by Minister. Minister, I hope you stick to the statement.
It is a statement.
Because as much as I allow the opposition member to go on and speak about other things other than the statement, in the strictest appreciation of the standing orders, it should not be so. And I hope we do not descend into that type of an arrangement. Member, if Minister, if you're finished answering the questions from the member, then I would like to know.
Madam, if you will indulge me just for one line to say that, the members seem to be practicing for the next general election. This election is done, the people have spoken, and we're on this side.
Hey, let me tell you something. You see, when I heard this the first time, man, I was so angry, bro. I couldn't have put out the video of my response to this. I was livid. The audacity of this man to suggest that Mr. Dr. Alfred Dawes was doing anything. Was doing anything more or less than what he intended to do, which is to advocate of the people, for the people of Jamaica, where healthcare is concerned. You understand? That's the only reason for those questions. The Integrity Commission report and its findings are critical to how we judge the government. So it's like, when you hear them make these statements, man, yo, I'm telling you, man, I was so angry.
You hear that?
Oh my God.
No, I open to understand now why. I open to understand now why I said that we have to continue with the fight. We have to continue asking questions, because you hear the reasoning and get the election is over. So therefore, anything that happened before the election, market, me, Cornwall, regional, no, them things are no matter. I remember he's a marketing genius. He said that in his thing, he's a marketing expert. That is what he's saying to all of us, that look, the election over, let's not talk about all these things that happened. And we are saying around here that we are going to talk about them. No, one of the things I throw this out in watching parliamentary proceedings for the time that I have been, which it's not that long, I noticed that the members are not as familiar as they should be with the standing rules and with Robert's Rules of Order. Why do I say that? Because I'm seeing a lot of members get up and they make an argument, and the argument would sound like it's an emotional argument. I'm not talking about you, I'm just talking about others, what I've seen. And so what the speaker does is that she responds in an emotional fashion. When you got up this week and you said, I rise on rule such and such, did you see what you did?
No, Rattigan, don't set up Isaac Buchanan Pandown here, son. Oh my God, I know this one is gonna be crazy. This a question I'm gonna ask Isaac. Oh man. Let's hear it, because I haven't.
She run for the book. Exactly. And then she was able to say, well, the rule that you're standing on is not an appropriate rule for the purpose of standing. And then you say to her, well, I tried, right? But that is what I would suggest. For you to share with the others, to share with them that they need to familiarize themselves with the standing order, so that when they rise, you force her to read for the book and then have to make a determination. But if they rise and it's all emotion, then that's when she turn off the mic and she can shut them up. But once you come with the rules, she cannot shut you up. She has to listen to you. And that is what I find lacking in Parliament, that a lot of the people there, they're not familiar with the rules. The one person that has displayed some familiarity with the rules is Mr. Warmington. I've noticed that with him. When he gets up, he can quote chapter and verse of a particular rule and say, this is why I'm standing. And you might not like him or his views or whatever, but I'm just talking about procedural now.
He's not lying. Wilmington definitely have that capacity. True.
Procedurally, he's very familiar with the rules. And so I am trying myself to be familiar with the rules because I have the rules. I'm going through them right now. And I give myself like a month to be completely familiarized with them so that when somebody stand up, I can say, oh, yeah, they're standing on the wrong rule or they're standing on the right rule. And part of this is because of my experience in watching the South African Parliament. Because those parliamentarians, I mean, if they don't know anything else, they know the standing orders in the Parliament. Your take?
I know. I'll agree with you. I have all. Certainly, when I'm in the house, I don't stand without knowing what rule I'm guided by, as well as what is in it and what are the possible ways out from the person who is answering, the member who is answering, or.
All right. Maybe segue from this a little bit. Anissa Bella Rose, big up yourself. Carlos, big up. Talkman TV. That all for the press. Mystic Sensation. Do. My love goes stronger each day, baby. Don't hurt me, just.
And people for sit down and take that and allow Andrew Holness to collect pure billions of dollars.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also.
A blessed good day to you, my wisdom warriors. Wagwan. I hope you guys are it.
Jamaicans have answered the call with supplies. Despite the goodwill, safety and security remain a concern.
There have been 2 major incidents. I have given the reports to the relevant authorities who are investigating. So yes, there have been incidents that have occurred. But of note, one of the main incidents that is being reported on social media, it was none of the residents. People brought people from the outside onto the compound.
In addition to the residents who are stationed here, the shelter manager explained outsiders in need are also cared for. When we visited the shelter Friday...
So people, the shelters, that the women and children are staying are the most vulnerable. You have all types of violence, sexual assault is happening at some of them, And these were things that I was worried about because I knew it wouldn't take long, because you have pedophiles, you have perverts and all of the different P's you can think of, sexual deviants, and you have a situation where everybody is locked up, you don't really know who is who. These areas have to be manned properly by the police and also the soldiers. It cannot be just police. It has to be a coordinated effort by personnel from the forces, right?
Friday, we observed a few police officers. It's believed their presence was spawned following an incident Thursday night. Although grateful, the people want them to remain into the night because...
We have teenagers here, we have babies here, we have newborns, lots of females on the compound. So with that being said, safety is key and it's very important, especially for the young ladies because we're being targeted as... okay, there's nobody there at night, so after a certain hour or whatever, it's free game.
With no electricity, the shelter manager says persons are urged to remain in the classrooms turned bedrooms at the stroke of dusk.
They can't go to the restroom, they can't even go sit on the outside because the classrooms are hot. They know, but they can't sit there to be locking themselves in because of fear of men invading the compound and doing illegal activities. Some people pleading for solar lights and at least a generator.
In addition to light, they want increased patrols by the police and JDF. The issue of security at shelters was put to Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, who told a media briefing that while he hadn't received any reports of breaches, he will ensure persons are protected.
You would have received a report that the number of shelters are reducing daily. Those that exist, so that you have raised it, we're going to cabinet in a few minutes. I will raise it in the cabinet with Minister Chang, and we will ensure that there is adequate coverage for them. I just made this appeal to every Jamaica. Yes, it's a difficult time. Yes, there is disaster all around. But now is not the time to take advantage of persons weaker than yourself.
Hal Shane Burke.
Food for the poor, Jamaica. All these coming. I'm here to represent my country. Oh my God. You gotta get this picture.
Big respect to the CEO. Yeah, man, what's my lowest team? Big up.
I like how the revolution started and people all over the world are see it. And I like how the Jamaican people help them black brother and black sister. The revolution started now, but everybody bold enough like me for it, covered by the Almighty himself. We come on the media and talk when I talk boldly. We don't know regrets because I talk the truth and I live the truth. And I love my people. Even though some of them I shut, but enough of them I open more since the passing of Melissa, the hurricane, the mash up the whole of the western part of the island.
True.
They see people must see. The people must say the people are the power. The people must say we, the Jamaican people, them come together. And the donors, them and everybody play them little part and make sure so we take care of black brother and black sister and help out the people them and help out everybody where we can help out. You see me? The people who are unite and I help the people. Guess who do it? The regular average man, the entertainers them, the TikTokers them, the foreign people who are donate to them. And if all the people who are sending them little, all people who don't have it, me see, I try help. And the people who govern this country, just a few of them can come together in a collective effort to help the people. But still, them say them got it covered. But I'm going to tell you the sad reality of this, and that's why the revolution starts. But the revolution starts and people now go to deny it. But the people them eyes are open, which are what me like this. Me say people them eyes are open, I know how me know. Regardless of what the people them now stop help. Because the people them go down there and say people them really want help, so them now stop help and we now stop give. So everything will happen without the government. If they want to do or not do, it really matter now. Because the people them now stop help. You can imagine if we do want some helicopter. If we do want some helicopter, you can imagine how much people get food already from some isolated areas. The
Real talk.
And the next shocking truth, the government don't like to see say the people must help the people because they put more pressure on them. Them undermine we give them and them make it political and try to help back the people. But it don't work that way then. And the people must help the people. Jamaica eyes are open. The country will get better. The country will get better, man. They start. We don't continue to do it. Don't give up. And them are going to say me mad.
One of the key elements them still for Jamaica to get better is us surrendering to God and repenting as a nation. Without that, no efforts, no amount of trips, none of those things will matter. We see signs of it in certain areas where the water continues to just swell and rise. But he's right about when he said that, the people are waking up. Yeah, man, he's right about that for true, man. He's right about that for true.
I don't have no problem with it. Why not?
I was a bit disappointed that the mic was turned off whilst the opposition leader was making his presentation or asking a question to clarify the whole situation. You know, based on the minister's presentation, I would have thought that, you know, even based on the standing order, what the minister says, we could have asked questions. But one of my colleagues was asking a question relating to land slippage and all of that, which is a serious matter when the rain starts to fall. I look at my own constituency, you know, because, you know, that is a flood-prone area. When you look at Bamber River, you look at Hardley Crossing, you look at the various areas, Hayfield, Beacon Hill, the entire Bath, you know, when rain falls, that is a big, big issue. And I was hoping to participate, you know, to ask what measures are going to be taken to sort of get some assistance to alleviate the problem in the event of a tropical storm. As a new member, I was very shocked today what I saw. We want to represent our people. So the questions that were asked today, I thought it was quite plausible and pertinent. But it wasn't to be.
Port Marge is known to be a flood-prone area, especially this square.
Hey, I thought if I press always find the video them, you know, man, because the video here, this is from when they did have the walkout in the parliament, you know. Yo, I never see this.
What improvement have we done to alleviate that flooding in that area?
I have gone to the site, I've spoken to the engineer, and you would have noticed that the Curtis Bottom Road, right now as we speak, even the school children walking, they have to divert. It is a problem as it relates to vehicular traffic and pedestrian. If you look at Curtis Bottom Road, right now as we speak, it is inundated with water. It's a flood-prone area. And what has been done there in terms of, I don't know, I'm not an engineer, but I've spoken about it. I noticed that the drainage is too small for the bulk of water, because, you know, Portland has about 3 rivers come together. So I am deeply troubled, and I hope that good sense will prevail to save lives and property.
Are you of concern about those structures that were built, even on the playfield, or so near to the road? Because
yes, indeed. Because even the garbage, the silt and so on, it is now on the playing field. So that in itself is going to create problems.
My God.
In the event of.
But they are going to look for one of my fans. Come.
When the t-shirt red.
Oh God, man, big up Andre. Andre, go look for him. An elderly lady, the lady lose everything. She had 90 at the year old. Boy, God bless you, Andre. I tell you, youth. God bless you, youth. No joke about that. Watch this.
Mommy already, man. Yes, the answer right here over here. Where is mommy? See her inside. Where's mommy? Mommy inside. Mommy, this is Andre. So she wear the shoes. Oh Lord, no. So me can't break for you. Oh Lord. I'm serious. Bless you. Bless you. You alright? But you're one strong. You're one strong.
Young man, Marina.
A 4-month young man. Rescue her out of the house and they blow down and wall blow down after they lift me. They wrap me in a water. And in a rain we see them life within sitting beside them and blow them. Hold on, Nobody cry. Nobody cry. Save me, man. We stay afraid for them every day. 4 young men. 4 of them. 4 of them. Wrap me up in a taffy.
Hey, can we really pray for the unsung heroes of this storm, the true first responders? When I say the true first responders, I'm talking about people like who this lady is talking about, that saved people's lives in the middle of the storm, the neighbors, the brothers that risked their lives You understand what I'm saying? And don't believe anything else more than their lives were at risk. That jumped off into water to save people. Can we get a round of applause for those brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen? Can we recognize them, ladies and gentlemen? Can we pray for them, ladies and gentlemen? That they might have God's favor, ladies and gentlemen. And yo, I'm telling you, some powerful things come out of this experience with Melissa.
Two lift me up off of me bed and put me in here. Yeah, this one two come that and they wrap me in a top here, wrap me in a two. One and carry me go. So 4 of them.
So God, so you're happy for the 4 of them?
Oh God, I'm glad I pray.
You're going to live to see 100 years old. You're going to live to see 100 years old. You hear what I say to you? You're going to live. Mama, that cry, mama. God will take care of you through every day.
All the way He will take care of you. I know He will. God will
take care of you.
Yeah, man, that is it, man.
Somebody bed, never get you one bed.
Thank you.
Never get you one bed. Never
blow down.
Never get you one bed.
Oh gosh, man. People, let me tell you something. You know how much people are got in bed hungry tonight? You know how much people are got in bed hungry tonight? Let me tell you something. Yo, the disaster rock Jamaica, you know. Yo, let me tell you, you have people where them not necessarily them house not blow down. But you see their situation was not amazing before this storm. You know what this storm has done to the economy? Their situation has worsened. So you see, if they could have find half a bread, they can't find not even piece of bread right now. The people are hungry. And I just in the era them where the disaster hit the most, you have eras where not the people in house, but the people in hungry. And them can't come on TV. They can't come on TV and say, oh, we're hungry and we need food. They have pride. Yo, this is the time we have to help out with neighbor them. You hear me tell you? We have to help out with neighbor them. And I'm not talking about my neighbor. I am just saying we have to keep our eyes open because people need help, but they're not going to ask for it. You hear me tell you no? May God guide you and make you help one another. Big up Andrea again.
And the daughter was still with me, just making me do the machine.
We're going to pull through, man. We're going to pull through. We're going to pull through. We're going to pull through. Yeah. What is your name?
Adassa Cooper.
Miss Adassa. Mama Adassa. You're going to pull through.
Adassa Cooper.
See me carry, give me the food then, give me the food package.
No, to me, eat the insulin.
Must I carry fish?
Insulin.
No, man. Alright. So me carry the package here for you. So then I'll go cook for you and the belly cutting, alright?
Right.
I'll see the wheat bread here. See the wheat bread. Alright? Right. So I'm going to see if I can get the bed for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm going to see if I can get the bed for you. Alright, Mama Alisa? Somebody bed, but hear what?
God will take
if I can help somebody as I go along there, my living shall not be in vain.
Thank you.
So here is what. You're going to depend on the bed for a while, you soon get back to bed. God will bless you, so you see 100. But apart from blessing you, I'm going to see you get back a house before you pass on.
Oh, God.
We're going to make sure that God do it for you.
Alright.
Alright, Mommy. Adassa.
Adassa Cooper.
Adassa. Adassa. Bless you. I'm going to leave you now. Come and go back at you.
Thank you. Yes. And God I cover me with His blood and His great protective power. That's when the enemy arises and see a fence around you and can't touch you.
Bless you. Bless you. Bless you.
Hey, let me tell you something. No matter how much you come on here and show on the videos, Yo, we don't have to go there to really understand what's going on in Jamaica right now. Like, yo, Jamaica mash up. Jamaica in our space right now, me to say, yo, we depressing, brother. So many places people are suffering right now, quietly suffering. You hear what I say? Just go and give God thanks, people. I just me I left it, you know. Yeah, man, I just me I left it. Big up Andre, big up Atafai Press, big up Wayne. Mr. Wayne Lonesome, you know what I mean? Big up Mystic Sensation, Carlos, make we talk with Tavares, big up Anissa Bell Rose, Talk Your Mind TV. You understand me? I deal with Jamaica topic. Big up everybody, Soulful, big up yourself, my general. Right? People not gonna say for a good morning, you know. Man, alright, that's where I left it, man. Alright, that's where I left it. See you in the morning when I have more energy and, you know, me can talk, me can really talk. And right now, I know, we're in a place and, you know, want to make up no bag nice because, you know, the place peaceful and really quiet and, you know, yeah. So, the word is love, my people. Thank you to everybody that came through. I didn't get to see some of the comments. The phone has been acting up from the other day, but I believe it's a memory issue, one which I need to fix. I need some new devices. I need some new phones. All right, bless you guys. See you guys later.